Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Jack, and in this video I wanted to talk about the state of Call of Duty today and why the small, legitimate YouTubers out there need to be respected more than ever. Because a lot of these guys that are what I like to call the illegitimate YouTubers, like for instance, a few of those gameplay channels that got busted for reverse boosting and possibly using Cronus Maxes and a whole bunch of other shit. Well, a lot of those guys are illegitimate because they've been making for years now hundreds and thousands of dollars by bullshitting their community, which they're lying to the kids and even to the adults that watch their channels or whatnot, so to speak, right? And the fact that's even worse and why it's unforgivable is because they refused. Let's go back a second. They didn't admit to it till way after the fact that it was proven, and they got called upon it by so many members of the community. So the fact that they didn't do it on their own accord just goes to show you what kind of person they really are and how toxic that really is. And on top of that, you had another one of these dudes specifically that basically went on and said, no, I don't reverse boost. And they had one gameplay, and then it was proven that they do reverse boost. And then the next day they were like, okay, I reverse boost. And then they tried to, they switched it up and tried to make themselves sound like the good guy, like, hey, let's go after skill-based matchmaking now. It's like, come on. Only your little kids and your followers are gonna fall for that shit. So, and that's if you're one of these people, or if you're one of these people that have done fake giveaways, or if you're one of these people that have signed a contract that is worth $20,000, even though you're making a ton of money yearly, 6 figures or more every year, and you're basically signing a contract for $20,000 that basically says, hey, promote Call of Duty Ghosts and make it sound good for an extra $20,000 when you're already making so much more money than that without having to do that. That is really a scumbag move. And then at the end of it, all these years later, this is what is going on. There's a lot of fake giveaways going on. And the funny thing is, people and Cronus Maxes and all that shit, people are starting to find out about this more now than ever, but the damage has already been done. And at this point, these people have already grown so big that it's beyond saving in that aspect from this point, because a lot of their followers are kids or younger kids that are more easily susceptible to the kind of bait that those guys offer, so to speak. And those kids will bite down on it. And at the same time, kids are a lot more forgiving than adults are. It's true. Kids are a lot more capable of forgiving, even in the most extreme things that happen, than adults are. Adults know where to draw the line, so to speak. That's one of the things that separates adults from kids. Adults draw that line. Kids basically don't know how to draw the line, or, they haven't learned that yet, and they haven't grown a pair of balls, their balls haven't dropped, and all that kind of stuff. So you guys know how it works. So the thing is, and this is where, now that I've described, some of the bad stuff, you like use code blah, 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 and this makes this video sponsored by Activision, now that I've exposed things like that, so to speak, and everything in between, I figured I would also give a nod and a show of respect to the content creators out there that are bigger and smaller. Most of them are small, and most of them don't make a damn penny doing this, that continue to grind and still continue to basically explain and divulge all the things that are wrong with this game. Not just the game, but the community and some of the other bullshit. Because quite frankly, if it wasn't for a handful of those guys calling out the bullshit that was going on with the community, like for instance, 8 Thoughts is really good at doing this. And by the way, shame on those people that basically make videos that basically say, man, hey, I can't hate on them for doing that. Man, you got to make money. You got to survive. What the hell are you talking about, dude? They basically rob. It's almost like the equivalent of robbing people in a sense. I mean, it's like, come on. It's like, it's an illegitimate way to make money, so to speak. You're cheating. You're cheating, it's simple as that. So, why are you going to lower your standards? If you're going to get from point A to point B, don't you want to do it legitimately as opposed to cheating and bullshitting people? Oh, wait, I know what you guys are going to say. Oh, that's what business is. You got to be a good bullshitter if you want to be a good business person. It's like, that just goes to show you why we're losing this battle against Activision, because they are succeeding where they shouldn't be. Our community is being disrespected at a tremendous rate by people that are making so much money that could easily afford to put in an anti-cheat system, that don't need to put skill-based matchmaking or EOMM or whatever the hell it is. They can easily release a complete product as opposed to something that's half-assed or incomplete, they could easily do this, especially with the amount of money and resources that they have, but they don't because they are greedy. Because they are greedy, and whether something is quote unquote legit or not, no matter has any relevance whatsoever. This is what the community has turned into today, and this is why I respect the smaller content creators, or even the ones that are slightly bigger, that have not sacrificed their integrity for the dollar. Sure, some of you guys have tripped over banana peels here and there a few times, but for the most part, especially all the small guys out there that hardly make anything, or if anything at all, doing this, I commend you guys, because you guys are still creating content out there. You're pumping up content, and you are still continuing to call out the game, calling out Activision, even calling out some of those illegitimate YouTubers that don't deserve to be where they're at because of all the kind of bullshit that they've been spewing at the community for so long, whether they're gameplay channels or not. If you've done fake giveaways and some of the other things that I mentioned earlier in this video, and signing contracts with Activision or whatever, things like that, just to name a few of those things, and lying to the kids, so to speak, come on. Especially when you're already making money. I mean, that's inexcusable, man. If you were hungry, or if you had a disease that required a ridiculous amount of money to cure, or one of your relatives had that disease or whatnot, then I would say, okay, fine. That would be the only extreme that would be forgivable, because that's understandable. But I mean, come on, to milk it to this extent, and to be a master of lies like that, that's just something I just can't agree with. And I don't care what anybody else thinks in terms of whether if they don't agree with me, then I simply don't care. That just goes to show that, your integrity has dropped. Simple as that. And I don't care if you take offense to this video. I'm just spewing facts like I always have, which is yet another reason as to why I respect the other fellow content creators out there that spit out facts. Spitting out the facts in this day and age in 2021 is a hell of a lot more difficult than it was in the past. You know why? Because standard has dropped. The standards have dropped, sadly speaking. And at the same time, it's all about the money. It's all about the money. Standards have dropped. And that's why Call of Duty is in the shape that it is today. And the fact that these smaller content creators out there have not lowered their standards, and the fact that they're still struggling to make a name for themselves on YouTube, despite the fact that some of them have been doing it for a very long time. And no, I'm not talking about myself. I'm talking about guys like GCP that have been doing this shit for 10 years, right? And they should be well ahead. And it drives me crazy that GCP doesn't have at least 100,000 subscribers. Seriously. Because, like, again, some of these people's thunder have also been, and I don't mean thunder as in 402 Thunder. I mean their thunder, their momentum. I wouldn't be surprised if it was taken away due to the bullshitters that have made their way to the top by bullshitting. Simple as that. And when you keep it real in this day and age, it's a lot harder to become popular, because there's a few channels out there that could easily be worth a million subs or more. Like Thunder has been stuck at 700,000 for God knows how long. Blame Truth has been stuck at 300 something thousand for God knows how long. 8 Thoughts has been stuck for a while. I mean, I think he's been growing slightly here and there, but these people have been, to get from point A to point B, especially on YouTube now, in terms of what it's turned into, especially with Call of Duty and how Activision likes to run shit as well, which is why a lot of these people that get called in to Activision and to the studios, that's why they get called in, because they have similarities. It's like, hey, these guys are bullshitters just like us. Yes, we want them. But if you speak or even ask questions about the game to the community manager, aka Bitch Don't Speak, Ashton the Mind Williams, guess what? You're going to get blocked just by asking a simple question. Does any other game fucking do that? I don't think so. And if this keeps going, it's only a matter of time before this shit spreads out into other games, because if they see that that Activision is getting away with this, and on top of that, they're making a few bucks, guess what? They're going to become greedy too, and they're going to treat their community like shit, and here we go. So this is why I respect all these smaller content creators. And guys, why so serious? Especially with all the amount of hours he's done exposing the patent and shit. He can't do this alone. So for all the other small content creators out there, for those of you guys that have energy left in the tank, continue to do your thing. Continue to support each other and help one another out, because this shit can't be done alone. It's like the 300 Spartans. They knew they were going to die, but they fought anyway, because it is much better to die trying than to roll over and die. And that's, again, another reason why I respect you guys. And to my viewers, thank you very much for your support all over the years. It's just that right now the desire has gone down. I don't have as nearly as much time as I used to due to working 55 plus hours a week. And for me personally, it's unhealthy. But again, go support these guys. I'm going to leave a lot of their links in the description down below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I enjoyed getting some of this off my chest and at the same time showing respect and calling out all the bullshit. And that's all I got for this one, guys. Have a good rest of your weekend. Stay safe out there. See ya.